Hey guys, welcome back to another episode Up and Running. Thanks for watching. All right, on today's episode, we're going to take a little break from the Blazer and we're going to take a look at this Jeep. It's a 1962 M170 ambulance. So I hope you enjoy it. Alright guys, we're going to start a little side project here. We're going to pull the engine out of this Jeep. It's making a little bit of noise, so it's going to go back to the engine builder and have that checked out. It was actually rebuilt just a couple hundred miles ago, and there's something going on with it, so we're going to pull it out. I did find out a little more information about this Jeep from the owner. And this Jeep was actually an ambulance in the Vietnam War. So this is a totally legit ambulance Jeep from that time frame. So that's some pretty cool history about it. I'm hopefully can find out a little bit more. I'm going to be talking to the owner again next week, and hopefully I can get a lot more details on it. He's excited to talk about this. He absolutely loves this Jeep, and with him being a medic, this is right up his alley. It's an awesome vehicle for him. So hopefully we can learn a little bit more about it. In case you're wondering where the battery was, it's in here. What I do on a lot of this stuff is I stick a piece of tape on it. You can see here I wrote A and there I wrote A, so I know those two to go together. I'll use various letters or numbers or whatever the case may be. So on an engine like this, that thing could go anywhere. All right, it's the next day on the Jeep. We got a bunch of stuff taken apart. I wasn't able to finish it. I had some other stuff I had to do, but we got the radiator out, the alternator's off, the exhaust is disconnected, the fuel lines are disconnected. The oil line to the gauge is disconnected. All the radiator hoses and everything are off. The wiring over here is disconnected. I still have to take the starter off. I'll do that from underneath. And all the cables that ran to various things, the choke and throttle and all that, are disconnected. So we got the motor mounts, bolts all loose, ready to go. I got to get this up on the lift and finish up all the underside of it, and then we'll lift it out of here. I'm going to go ahead and drain the oil out of it. You can see the drain plug there. That thing is huge. All right, we got all the oil drained out, so now we got to get all the bell housing bolts out, and we got to get the starter off. Something that they did on here, everything is nut and bolted. It's not, you know, just a bolt holding this together. There's both a nut and a bolt. So that'll make it a little bit more interesting. So I'm gonna show you something crazy I ran into. Let's see if I can even film this. So way down there, let me back up so you can see, that's the starter right there. And way down in there, I don't even know if I can get this on film for you, is a bolt for the starter. And I cannot figure out how to get that out. It's one of those crazy things. I don't know, Ed looked at it, he couldn't figure it out. Jake took this engine out last time, so we texted him, he's not here right now, to see if he can remember how he got that out. But that's an interesting one, because I don't know what to do. I won't bore you with this whole thing, but this is going to be an hour to get this bolt out at least. OMG, I think I got it. This is about, it was about an hour. Swing that one bolt out. It may give myself a little more room, but that was about an hour to get that bolt out. Now I gotta figure out what all fell out. These fell out on both sides. This goes on the motor mount like this. We'll put those back in. And then the other thing was a bracket that went through the motor mount for the radiator, to hold the radiator in place. All right, it's all torn down, ready to go back to the engine builder so they can fix whatever's going on with it. A few days later. So the engine's all rebuilt now, and should be all nice and fresh. Hopefully the engine builder put a little sand in the oil pan for us. That's always fun to start up a fresh engine, so just kidding. Anyway, it's all rebuilt and ready to go, so let's get working on it. All right, let's see if we can't remember how this goes back together. Looks like I'm gonna have to do a little cleaning there.
Say that again?
I was talking to the camera.
Oh.
So it looks like I'm gonna have to do a little cleaning on here. All right, so this has got two bolts that are a little bit different from each other, and they go here on the flywheel, so that's how you know which way it goes, I guess. Now we're gonna put a little Loctite on these. Better be safe than sorry. All right, now I gotta find a clutch tool that fits that so we can get this clutch in there and centered and we don't have any issues bolting it into the truck or the Jeep. All right, let me show you something I did on the clutch. Something I do whenever I can. If you look close, there's two marks there. There's one mark there and there's three on the bottom one. I marked the clutch the same way so I know which way it came off, and I always try to put that back on exactly the same way as I took it off. That way there's less chance that there's any vibrations or any weird stuff like that. So it's something that's real quick and simple to do, and but you don't have to, but what the heck. All right, I'm gonna put a little Loctite on these bolts too. I don't know about you guys, I don't want to do this again.
We don't.
One time is enough. Oops, got this one a little tight. All right, now we torque them.
All right, what song am I singing? I told you this over and over. Whenever I put an engine in or see somebody putting an engine in, Go Grease Lightning.
Oh.
Remember in Grease, John Travolta, I think, is up there on top of the hoist as they're rolling it in.
Yeah.
And I never fully saw the Grease movie until probably a year ago.
Oh, yeah.
Did it work? All right, I'm gonna help Ken.
If you come over here and hold it, I can let it down. I think this is pretty close as to where it's, how it's gonna go.
behind is, well,
Back this way a little bit. Yeah.
okay, yeah, now you're coming down some.
Okay.
You know, the only issue here,
Yeah, you gotta get the shaft in place now.
yeah, get it level.
I mean, it definitely slid back. I'm not sure. If you look, there is one stud on here.
Yeah.
It's on the top on your side. I don't know if you can tell if we're where it
see.
needs to be. It looks like the engine may be rotated just slightly to your side. See that stud?
Yeah, actually, we may be going in it.
Okay,
We may be in it.
okay.
Yeah, see, to me,
Does it
the
make
top of the flywheel is in the teeth,
Right.
and the bottom are not.
Okay, so we need to lower the front yet.
Yeah. Or raise it back.
This thing was in here last time I was here.
Really? The engine had to be rebuilt, we just got it back.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we just got it back. And you came to help. Mike, that was awesome. Forward. Yeah, we're in, we're going.
All right, it actually went in pretty smoothly. I have no complaints about that. Now I just got to get it bolted up to the transmission, which will be a challenge, and then get everything else bolted together. So here we go.
Unless by chance.
All right, I'm going to try to put in that one infamous starter bolt that I couldn't get to before. I got it in the hole. I got it started. All right, I got that starter bolt done. Probably only took 20 minutes to get it on. I'm getting really good at it. Hopefully I never have to look at it again. Now I just got to tighten up the bottom starter bolt.
Are you working on your car?
Well,
Why do I have
have told someone back in the 60s that intakes and core supports would be made out of plastic, they would have laughed at me.
In case y'all are wondering how I just stuck that coil in, I actually looked down inside the engine and I saw the slot was this way, and I pulled the cap off and checked the slot here, and it lines up with cylinder 1, and he had put some marks down on the crank so I assume he set this up at top dead center. We're going to double check this before we fire it, but I think that's what's going on. So I think he's got it set at top dead center. The distributor lined up, correctly with the way it came out. So I think we're good. So that's why I dropped it down in there. It's not a big deal to pop it out if we need to, but I think we're good with the way it is. Now, like this fan, I couldn't remember which way it went on, this way or this way. So I look at the wear pattern. It's like that was up against a big service. That was up against a big surface like the water pump, and then you can see here these were just like a bolt size hole. So it goes this way. I think the radiator drops in with the fan on. Hopefully, otherwise I'll take the fan back off again. I think it does though. All right, so we're making some good progress here on the Jeep. Let's see what else is in the parts pile, what we have left. I know I need some heater hoses yet. Okay, they look like they're in that pile right there. Looks like there's something right there too, so I gotta figure that out. It's crazy, it's been a while since I took this apart, and I'm trying to remember everything, make sure it all goes back together. We'll get it. Time to get a new oil filter. I'm gonna get some oil put in here. It'd be fun and all to start it without oil and see how long it lasts, but I don't think the customer would really appreciate it that much. I think this is a bigger filter than what I talked to the parts store about. Let me grab a tape measure. Alright, Ed was using it to put a car back together. Alright, so this is 4 1/8 inches in diameter and 4 3/4 inches tall. So I'm going to have to see what we got, because this is bigger than what they said they had at the parts store. I can't get it back in here. There we go. Let's see what we can find. If nothing else, I may have to call the customer and find out where they get them or if they know a number on them. I'm gonna pull this spark plug out so we can verify we're at top dead center. I think, like I said, I think we are, but I'm just gonna verify that. Alright, hopefully the piston should be right at the top. And it is, it's right there. Yep, I can see it right at the very top. Yeah, I have to have Ed help me. But I think we're right at the top. Let's put the heater core in. All right, last part. There's a spring on here. I gotta remember where the spring goes. And there's a fitting. That goes here. Like this. This goes here, like that. All right, now I gotta figure out where the spring connects. That's it. We got everything. So it's all hooked up. It needs coolant put in it. We need to verify top dead center, and then the timing is loose. The distributor is snug but loose, and we should be good to go. I'm just gonna make sure our timing marks are still where I thought they were down there. They're right on the money. All right, so I think we're good to fire this up. We got to get oil put in it, and then figure out the oil filter deal. So that might take a call to the owner. I've been having a little trouble figuring out what exactly that is. Oh, there's a filter body number on it, 15310. Huh, I'll have to check that out. Filter assembly number 5103. Fram, it says. All right, let's check that out. All right, I guess I can put these bars in right away too. These just make the front end a little stiffer. All right, I'll give you a quick walk around here before we fire it up so you can see what this all looks like. Then the snorkel tube will go through here and into there when it's all done. I just left it so I can lean in and adjust the timing. It'll make it a little bit easier because the distributor's down there and it is a little loose, so we can adjust it yet. But otherwise, as soon as the oil gets here, we'll see about firing it up. We got an issue with the filter too. I think we're gonna have to call the owner of this to see what the deal is with the filter, if he's got one or if he can tell us what the number is on it. Understandably, the parts store doesn't know, so we'll check that out, and then we'll try to fire it up. All right, 4 quarts right on the full, but we haven't run it yet, so I don't know if oil, how much sits in the filter area. So I'm gonna call that good for right now. So the oil shows full on the dipstick, but we haven't run it into the filter yet. So I don't know how this normally sits. We'll probably check it after it runs a little bit, but we got nothing to run it. So.
And you filled that up?
No.
You didn't?
No, I don't know how these.
Well, what we'll do is we'll start it and let it, if it runs for 30 seconds, shut it off and then check it. Because that's a huge capsule.
Yeah, it is.
I bet you it takes 1.5 quarts of oil. How much did it take to say full?
4 quarts. Put it full in the crankcase.
Okay, so probably another
But
quart.
I don't know, does that sit full when the Jeep's off? I don't know what they say, how they say to check
Yeah,
it.
I don't know either. We're
So,
gonna find out.
I don't know what to do.
Yeah, start it up.
The battery's on. There's no gas in it, so it'll crank, Alright, did this one just turn to the start position?
I think you gotta do this.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
Is there a choke, a manual choke?
There's a manual choke on the carburetor and it's hooked up, but
When you pull it, nothing happens?
well, I don't see a button in here for it. That's
Can you
the
see
thing.
something moving? I think I'm moving it.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it closed?
I'm gonna say yeah, it went 90 degrees.
Okay. It's good to get oil. Now we're gonna need to put a battery in.
Okay. Okay.
All right, try it again.
It's pumping gas now.
All right, good.
There's some sediment in that filter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. All right, I would think it would have at least popped by now. I just want to double check this part.
Okay.
I can smell gas. I don't know if you can.
Not really.
Big. Actually, really well.
There I can now.
Go ahead and turn it over. Yeah, it's got spark.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take it off. Hang on, okay?
Okay.
Okay, contract.
There we go.
I was turning the distributor just a bit.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead. Do you have it? Hang on. Stop a second. I'm just gonna see if it's a gas issue.
All right.
Don't choke it or anything.
Okay.
Go ahead. That should have popped.
I don't think.
Let's pull a plug and see if it's wet.
Okay.
I mean, could we have flooded it?
Yeah, we might have. Ugh.
I mean, it wanted to pop there.
Yeah, it's a little flooded.
Wet, wet.
Yeah, it's pretty wet. Just leave it sit for a second.
Yeah.
All right.
And I hope that carb's not. It's dripping. It's in neutral, right?
Yeah. I didn't see any gas come out of the carb or anything.
No, huh?
No.
Okay, we'll put it back together.
And
If it was flooding, I think you'd be shooting out gas.
yeah, I agree. Oh, is this the finally let down? Yeah. I didn't know. You guys put on the gas.
Or if I'm tripping off the overflow amp.
Is it full?
Perfect. So
I
I
mean,
think
this is straight. It's about here. There's about 3/4 of a gallon.
this maybe has 3 or 4 ounces in it.
Okay. Oh, that idle's a little better.
Nice big squeak just to start it off. So what we want to do is let it get warm and then start it, make sure the timing's not off.
All right. Yeah. All right, I'll tighten up the distributor and we'll see what happens. Did you take the 716?
I put it away, yeah.
Oh.
I thought you were done.
Oh. Turns out the alternator's right there. All right, so we took the Jeep around the block and it runs pretty good. We're just gonna go through and check all the fluids again and make sure everything's good to go on it. I'll try to get some footage too of us taking it around the block. All right, let's take this Jeep around the building. Fires right up. Let's reverse. I just checked all the fluids in it to make sure everything was where it's supposed to be. Mix it all up one more time, check it, and I think this thing will be done. Take it around back once. Hard to drive a stick and hold the camera. All right. How you doing today? We'll check all the fluids in here one more time and I think it'll be good to go. What's that?
Doesn't seem like it's, unless it didn't work. You remember?
Oh, when I was driving, it was up close to right 14.
When I
You're
come
right, it's lower now.
Yeah, when I come back, we'll pop the hood and make sure a wire didn't come off or something. One thing that everything's fine, it runs good. Oh, now it just kicked up. So I don't know how you feel. I want you to take it one time. You get to 30, thing's revving in the third gear.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine doing 50.
Oh, I know. I had it going 30 on one of my passes too, and it's
It's like I'm thinking a couple more miles, and I mean that's it,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I gotta tell him that.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine doing 40.
Yeah.
All right, I'll pull it up and let it just make sure it doesn't overheat.
I'm good. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for the Jeep. I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to come back next time, and who knows what we'll work on. It's always a mystery to me. Thanks for watching.